Hello, I want to welcome you to the Free Traffic Heaven training. And in this training, you are going to learn how to generate massive free traffic to your websites. You're going to learn what is working now and what is not working at the moment. So what can you expect in this training? You're going to get serious answers to what traffic methods are working for me and my clients that results in over 100,000 visitors monthly. You're going to get an inside look at what methods are working now, again, and which methods are going to be not as effective in the near future as well. Plus, you're going to see the new direction that I am headed and why you need to follow this or miss out on boatloads of free traffic opportunities in the future. Just a warning for you, I don't want you to get too upset when many of these methods may seem basic to you, because there is a unique twist to some of these. Also, don't get too upset when I don't talk in length about Facebook, Twitter, or Pinterest. It's not that I don't think they're great traffic sources, but I don't go huge into them because I'm not actually using them, for my clients. So I only want to share with you things that I'm using with my clients. So I'm not saying Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest are bad by not talking a whole lot about them, but I do integrate Facebook and Twitter, and Pinterest definitely can send you some traffic. But I'm just basically sharing with you methods that I'm working with. I will let you know everything I'm doing for my own sites and client websites, and I won't hold anything back. Getting decent website traffic takes consistent time, effort, and it won't all happen overnight. So keep that in mind. There is going to be effort involved, just like anything, any kind of marketing for any kind of business. There is an effort involved. So make sure you're prepared for that. But this training should really give you some ideas as far as directions you should be going. So here's everything that's going to be covered. I'm going to cover free traffic methods that are working and that I am actively using for my clients and for myself. You're going to learn about a few methods that are losing their effectiveness that used to be good, that I even used to teach several years ago that aren't as effective as they used to be. You're also going to discover two traffic methods that you should really kind of focus in on if I were you. So I'm going to pick two of these methods after I'm all done here and say, hey, these, if I had nothing else to focus on, these are the two I would go for. Plus, I'm going to cover SEO of the future and new link building in the post-Penguin world, basically. So with all the new changes with Penguin, we're going to talk about how you can actually effectively build links in an effective manner. You're also going to learn methods that I will be focusing on more with my business. Plus, I'm going to finish it up with some very basic action steps that you can apply. So here's the free traffic methods that are working right now in no particular order. There's also several other things I could have included here, but basically want to include these core elements for you. There's video marketing, which is just getting hotter and hotter, and I'm going to cover each one of these in depth. Blogging, I'm going to just go over 5 great tips to jumpstart your blogging. Even though you may be thinking, wow, that's an old basic method, I think some of these tips and ideas will kind of reinvigorate your idea for how important blogging can be for you. Article marketing, not like it used to be, not the traditional article marketing. Fresh content, super simple concept. You'll be, hitting yourself going, ugh. And, it's just very simple. Pretty much is what it is right there. Ad swaps, still a very effective lead generation method, still something that works quite well. Joint ventures, they're probably the best traffic source period as far as getting a high volume of very targeted traffic and being able to get a high volume of sales. Then there's also press releases, which can do a lot for boosting your credibility. And then finally, I'm going to go over email marketing, which is really an underused free traffic source, because if you already have an email list, which most people have at some point, whether it's small, 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 100,000 people, everybody's got different size email lists, customer lists, and you can actually send yourself a flood of traffic, and I'm going to give you some ideas there as well. So with video marketing, it's been said before and I'll say it again, YouTube is going nowhere. It's still growing at a rapid pace. It continues to climb and people are engaging more and more with videos. And in fact, search engines like Google, for example, really are weighing that heavy, and you're seeing that in a lot of search results and a lot of blog posts and things. People are integrating video still, especially YouTube videos. Through all the recent search engine changes, you'll find that videos still show up near the top of the search results for most keyword phrases. It's a great way to get traffic that doesn't depend completely on SEO. And here's an example of a video that I have that builds my list. It's got 420,000 views. It's just a very basic video. I'm going to talk about how I got this video to rank and how you can actually apply that to your own videos. And through this, I end up getting anywhere from 10 to 20 some subscribers, per day, which is pretty good. As you can do the math, that adds up pretty quick over the course of, on a daily basis. That's coming in every single day. Every month I'm adding 500 to 600 new subscribers just by having this video here. It doesn't cost me anything, and it's right there. So here's a little bit about creating your videos, and here's a few simple ideas for creating those videos. First one, you could create PowerPoints and use a screen capture tool like Jing or Cam Studio or Camtasia to record it. And I'm actually using right here, PowerPoint. So this would be kind of the format we're using. You could use Windows Movie Maker to insert images or free public domain images and create a slideshow and overlay it with an audio of you reading a PLR article in your niche or one that you wrote. I have another video that I didn't show you here that's me just reading a PLR article about the Doberman Pinschers, and it has well over 100,000 views on YouTube, and it's funneled quite a bit of traffic to an old pet site that I had. You could also just set up like a webcam or flip video, of course, and just put it up on a tripod or have somebody hold it, and you can just sit down in front of that and just talk through your talking points. Talk about, what's working for you, what you want to get out there, the knowledge that you can bring to the table. Record a screen capture tutorial showing people how to do something online. Now, right now I'm doing like PowerPoints where I'm showing you training, but you could also do screen capture tutorials with Cam Studio, Camtasia, or Jing, any of those tools, and you can actually do, like live screen training. So those are all ideas for creating videos that you could then use to put on YouTube and some other video sites and funnel traffic back to your site. You could also put your hand on on a whiteboard, put your camera up there on a tripod and video your hand writing there. That's actually a really effective method. I've seen it done quite a bit. I haven't personally done that. I've done more of the PowerPoints, the sitting in front of it, doing screen captures. I've done those kind of videos. I've had great success, and Windows Movie Maker is actually how I made that one video that has 420,000 views, and that's a free software program. So here's an idea. Not a lot of people talk about this. A lot of people talk about the AdWords keyword tool, but YouTube actually has a promoted, they call it YouTube Promoted Videos keyword tool, and it's free to access. You could either Google that phrase, or you could just type in ads.youtube.com/keyword_tool, just like you see on your screen here. And it's going to look similar to this. It looks very close to the Google AdWords keyword tool, and you can actually just type in your phrase, like I put in make money online, just as an example, and it will tell you actually the search volume that people are looking for. Like for example, in the United States, you could put in other countries if you wanted to, and you can actually see what kind of volume of traffic each month is for certain keywords on YouTube alone. So you could maybe target your keyword, your video titles around which keywords are getting the most traffic and most interest. So make sure you check that tool out. Another idea is a YouTube search suggestion. So that's when you look up possible video topics for your niche and see what they suggest to you. So just go to the search box and start typing in, like for example, if you were to go there now and start typing in golf TI, like you're going to say golf tips, it will bring back many variations for golf tips. You might find 10 or 20 different topics that you could title your video, write in your description, use in your tags, create your videos around that particular topic, create a PowerPoint, have somebody shoot a video of you showing how to do those golf tips or whatever the process is. Google Insights for search, it's formerly known as Google Trends, but basically there's a link there, google.com/insights/search, and that's another powerful tool. You can use it for website traffic. It works really good because it tells you, popular keywords that are becoming more popular. You can actually compare it. You can put in keywords to compare them by doing a comma next to them. So you could do like how to make money online, work from home, and make money online, and see which one's more popular, which one's trending upward, and they base it on a 1 to 100 scale. So if it's at 100, it means it's got a very high search volume and it's going up. And does traffic seem to be rising, or has it been declining over 5-month period or a year period, things like that. Here are some YouTube ranking signals, and this is very important for you to take note of when you're actually going in there and going to be ranking your videos. So some of the things YouTube looks at is the video title. You want to make sure you include the keywords here and try to make your first 60 characters keyword focused so it appears in the search results. So you really want to make sure that you use some of the methods I just talked about when titling your video, because that's a very important factor as to where it shows up in YouTube. And the higher it shows up in YouTube, the more views you get, and as we'll talk about in just a little bit, the more views you have, obviously the more traffic you're going to get on your video. The video description, this is where YouTube gives you, they give you plenty of room. Actually, a lot of people underuse it. I know I even am guilty of that on occasion. And they actually give you a lot of room to actually create an informative description. So typically a lot of the videos you see that rank the highest have really good text in the description that relates to the video. I know I had quite a bit of text in that video I had as well, and it made a big impact. So try to incorporate your keywords there. You can almost write it like you're writing a blog post, for example. You might want to make sure you include your website or blog link, kind of like I did in my video example. I had the link to my squeeze page for them to get the free motion background loops that I was advertising at the beginning, and the format I used was http://. And if you don't use the HTTP and just do www, your link will not be hyperlinked and it won't be an active link. So you want to make sure it's an active link because people are going to click on it more. Plus, it's going to give you a benefit of a backlink, from a high authority site like YouTube. But mainly, it's going to get people that watch that video to click. And I know for me, it sends me quite a bit of traffic every single day, like clockwork. And it's just a nice thing to have. So make sure you include your link. And the best spot for it is at the beginning or in the first few sentences, so that it shows up right below the video so that people don't have to scroll or hit show more. You want that link to show right up there. So make sure you utilize your video description. Include a squeeze page link if you can, because list building is so important, and it's a great thing to be doing, especially if you're going to be spending the time doing videos. Some other things YouTube looks at, and I'm spending quite a bit of time on YouTube because it can send you a large amount of traffic, and especially if you implement this along with a good solid video, you're going to be in great shape. So good keywords in the video title, good video description, and the video tags, which is where you use the same keywords for your title and description. So the same ones you use in the video title and the description in the tag, and think of any related words, as many related words as you possibly can that would fit in there. Use your important keywords first. So start with the most important keyword that you want to rank for, maybe that you found when you were using the tool to actually come up with ideas for hot trends in YouTube to look for. Likes and dislikes, this of course is very important. Encourage people to like your video after it and at the end of your description. So after you've done your description, say, hey, make sure you like this video, if you enjoy it or something. Even in the video, you could encourage people at the end of it to go ahead and like the video or give their feedback on it. You could request people on your email list if you already had one or have a list that's growing, to view or comment on the video. That's going to help get views up, which will help it get more exposure in YouTube. It's going to possibly get more likes, so it's going to have some activity going, and that's what kind of helps push a lot of videos up there as well, along with having, the proper titles and things like that. You want to let people on Facebook and Twitter know about it as well. So if you have any friends, family, people that follow you on Twitter and your business, make sure you notify them, about your video and send a link straight to it so they can go right to it and watch it. Video comments, keep the comments open if you can so your video stays active, and it will help push it near the top. It doesn't mean they're going to pull your video down if you don't have comments, because there's a lot of popular videos where they remove comments, but especially it's good to have because you can engage with your customers, and it also is going to, like I said, give more activity on the account on that video, so it's going to actually help push it forward. Syndication, that's another big one. When you're actually submitting it, it's going to ask if you want it to be allowed to be syndicated on other devices other than a computer, and that's fine. You want to make sure it gets on mobile devices, TVs. People have Google TVs that do YouTube. People have all kinds of technology now, iPads, all the iPhones, all that stuff where they can watch your videos too. So you want to make sure that it's open to them and that you allow that to happen, because you can get a lot of additional visitors on these other devices. So make sure you check that when you're going after it. Another important YouTube ranking signal. It's probably one of the most important ways to see your video rankings improve even more, which is kind of a catch-22. But the nice thing is once you get up there, you get enough views, you do enough effort to promote your video to get it the traffic, and the views get up there, it's going to remain up there because the views are high. And that's kind of what happened, with that video I had and the other videos I had, where once they started getting more views, just because of some of the activity and the likes, it ended up just kind of growing from there. So getting more people to view your video can be huge for your content, as it's a good indicator that it's popular, so therefore Google's going to want to show it more. So if that means sending it to your email list a few times, doing Twitter, Facebook, whatever it takes, just make sure you promote that. You could even do social bookmarking to your video, link to your video. And I do talk about social bookmarking later, but I'm going to talk about, a little bit about how to do it correctly. But we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. Again, send your email list, Twitter, and Facebook, and YouTube. As far as they're concerned, after 8 seconds, a video is considered viewed. So make sure your content's engaging at the beginning and that it's not a boring introduction, because you don't want to lose people if they're going to go to it. You want to make sure they at least stick around so that your views go up higher, so that therefore you can actually end up getting long-term rankings. So now to start creating your videos, run a search on Google, for video hosting sites or video sharing sites. So you kind of have an idea, you know how to find the content. I gave you some ideas for creating videos. You just need to kind of piece that together to create it. The whole point of this video is to give you ideas for traffic ideas, and then apply every one of the YouTube ranking signals so you can get your videos ranked in YouTube. Keep your information informative, engaging, and fun when you're creating a video, and keep that in mind. And just like I said above, there's many other video sharing sites like YouTube out there. So once you create this content, it doesn't just have to be on YouTube. You can put it on MetaCafe, Vimeo, Rever, whatever sites are out there that are going to let you post it. You can do that. The other traffic method that I'm talking about that you've probably heard a lot about, but I'm going to share with you 5 tips to really help you kickstart it again, is with blogging. It may be old, it's been around for a while, but it's still a highly effective way for you to build a huge following, build your list, and generate long-term search engine traffic. If you're not blogging on your e-commerce or your business website, like you're selling physical products, or your business website or sales page, you need to start, doing that. Now, of course, this wouldn't apply if you already are set up on a blog, but what I'm about to teach you about blogging probably will apply. But make sure you're doing that. It's one of the big indicators Google's looking at is, again, unique, engaging content. They love WordPress sites, they love blogs, and they always seem to rank them. If you aren't set up with a blog already, you could go yourdomain.com/blog to install your blog, and that's going to be the best way to do it. You don't want to do blog.yourdomain if you can help it, or you don't want to link, set up a completely new domain for your blog if it's going to link back to your main site. So if you have a main website that's kind of your sole focus for getting traffic, then do it in this format, yourdomain.com/blog, if that's the sole focus of it. For your blog, the best software out there is WordPress, and you can install it for free with a one-click install from Fantastico or from Simple Scripts, which is through Bluehost. So you'll need your own web hosting to do that. But again, I'm talking about free traffic methods, and basically that's assuming you already have web hosting and you're probably already got an autoresponder. So this whole course here is focused on ideas to help you utilize what you have to get free traffic. Again, when you're setting it up, you've probably heard of this, but use the all-in-one SEO plugin. It's going to just do some basic search engine optimization, put your keywords in the right place, the tags in the right spots, so that you can, go forward. The thing to worry more about with your blogging is worry more about content than your theme initially, especially if you're starting out. The basic theme will be fine to get you started, and you can often spend so much time finding the perfect theme and you don't create any content for a while. I know I've been guilty of this before, and it's a lot better. In fact, I've seen a lot of blogs that are highly successful that are still operating on some of the more basic WordPress themes, but they have good engaging content. So focus on your content more than anything, and once you get in that rhythm of creating content, you're going to be in a better position, to where maybe you could pay somebody to get the perfect blog theme, or you could spend more time finding it, but at least you get in a rhythm of creating content, because sometimes you could go a month, 2 months, just procrastinate, keep putting it off, be like, oh, I'm going to wait till I get the right theme, and then you never get around to blogging, and it just sits there and doesn't do any good for you. Again, for your blog, WordPress is the best one to go with. And blogging to increase your visitors. To make blogging effective for you, follow these tips here. Make a niche for yourself, so become the go-to source in your market. Create, a controversial viewpoint if possible with your post to draw in attention, and other people. So come up with something that's controversial. That's gonna, make people go, wow. Like everything you've learned about shooting your golf score under 80 or scoring under 80 is false, or you've been lied to or whatever. Come up with something that's going to be engaging, that's going to get people interested, or basically just become the source, become the person that people think of when they think of whatever niche it is you're going after, whether it's, savings or travel or whatever niche you might be in. Make sure you're the one that they go to. Let your audience tell you what they want and make sure they can comment on your blog post. Interaction is huge for the search engines, and also more importantly, it's going to be huge for your blog because you know what your customers want. Update your blog frequently. If you look at the most popular blogs in your niche, you will see that they are updated daily, but try to go at least 3 to 4 times per week. And I need to do a better job of this myself. I agree. So if you can, try to get out there 3 to 4 blogs. A lot of the top blogs you see out there, they're blogging daily, and I see a huge boost with my clients when they're consistently blogging, and also with my own websites as well. So create great content that gets attention, and this could mean, lists, videos, pictures that illustrate your point, and more. Lists being like top 25 ways to do this, top 8 ways to improve your golf score, top 5 ways to train your dog better. Those kind of things, incorporate pictures if it makes sense, videos, create an infographic. Those kind of things will help you out. Promote your content with social media. Use the Dig plugin to generate Facebook likes, Twitter shares, Google Plus One votes, and more. That's a great plugin to use because social media is so huge, and it's going to create social signals, which are big time for search engine rankings. And we're going to cover that more, but Google and the latest changes are really looking a lot at social signals, and we're going to address kind of how to do that more. But that involves, just on your post, the Dig plugin's free. It can have people Facebook like it, Twitter share it, Google Plus One. So it does have a Pinterest option on there now too, and it allows you to basically, get your content in the social realms where it's getting interest. Create your blogging schedule and try to be consistent with it if possible. And it's still a great way to get traffic for the long term. And it's a method that if you do it right with good content, you're not going to have to worry so much about the search engine changes. Article marketing. I'm going to talk a little bit about the new methods. Article marketing still works when done in the proper way, or the new way, I should say. You no longer want to go out there and submit to tons of article directories at once. You don't want to pay somebody. You don't want to use the software that mass submits it, because a lot of times those sites just end up, you end up not even getting links back from them. And if you do, they're discounted by the search engines because they realize that's a method people use to try to game the search engines. So a good strategy would be to submit to the top 5 or so article directories, and also look for ones that are niche related. So find financial blogs, health blogs, or article directories, I should say. Find those type of niche ones, and you'll probably be better off, because you'd be better off finding article directories related to finance. I did that with a client, and it really made a difference for him, because it was just a financial oriented website that accepted articles. Had a very high page rank. Google loved the site because it's so laser focused on that one topic. Instead of having about 500 other categories it was representing, it was only focused on business and finance. And so, there's health article directories out there. There's all kinds of them out there that you could find and be a part of. You could also run a search to find the top ones for top article directories. I do provide a link here, the VRE toolbar. You could even search that VRE toolbar article directories, and it would pull up this list for the VRE toolbar article directory list. So that's vretoolbar.com/articles/directories.php. You want to do searches for financial article directories, dog article directories, golf article directories, etc. To find the niche ones that I was just talking about. But the VRE toolbar is going to give you a list of the top 50 article directories, and they always update it, so it's a pretty reliable list as long as that site's still there. Guest posting or blogging is another great strategy you can implement to generate traffic from highly targeted sources. You want to just look for websites in the search engines related to your niche by looking up your niche and guest blogger, your niche and submit blog, your niche and submit article, your niche name and submit content. And when I say your niche, it could be like golf, it could be basket weaving, whatever market you're going after, stock trading, submit content. Do that search in quotes, and you'll probably come across some stock trading websites, and then do the submit content in quotes, and you would come across some stock trading websites that are looking for content to be submitted, or real estate investing, or whatever it is. Create a unique article for them and get a backlink to your website. That's the key part. You're giving them content, you're giving them a unique article, so they're happy. In exchange, they're giving you a backlink, and more importantly, you're getting exposure on a website that has targeted visitors that at some point or another are going to click on that link and probably end up back on your website to get what you have to offer. To find sites that you can go to, you can run a search in alexa.com and type in your keyword to find some websites in your niche that are already getting good traffic, because Alexa will rank them by who's getting the most traffic. Instead of just blindly going out there using Alexa, you could go out there and find articles, sites that you could possibly submit content to. The key with article marketing is to worry more about quality than the quantity. So still include the links in your articles to your website, either in the resource box or in the article if they allow it. But again, like I said, you don't want to worry so much about having 50 so-so articles. It's better to have 5 or so really good articles that you then get submitted to 1 or 2 really good websites. That's going to go a lot further for you in this new changes with the search engines. So you want to find a couple of websites that you can guest blog for each week, and try to get an article published at least once per week to keep steady and high authority links coming in. So if just one per week, you find 2 a week and you try to get into one of them, at least one article, good article to them, that's at the end of the month, that's 4 to 5 quality articles, that are published on a blog that's going to get you some good traffic. Fresh content, I already basically addressed this when I talked about blogging, but the search engines really like fresh and unique content now way more than ever. It's becoming a big impact, and I know for a fact that's probably why a lot of the sites I had in my client sites didn't have a major fall off for the search engines, because there was a lot of fresh content being added there. They get the most traffic each month. The ones that are getting the most traffic have new updated content, whether it's new content I put out there, even PDF type content that you then send them to by email, or you add new products to them. And that's the thing. It may seem simple, but like in blogging, you need to create a schedule for new content creation, or you need to possibly outsource it, which we'll cover more, with low cost methods if that's something you're interested in. Fresh content could include adding products to your website, creating a new article, offering a new report, putting a video on a page, etc. Things like that. That's kind of what fresh content is. One of my clients has an e-commerce website where they sell physical products. Every day they're adding a couple hundred products a day, 100 to 200 products. They have people just adding products to their website, and it makes a big impact for them because they're getting fresh content updated daily. Search engine spiders are always going there, and it's a very big reason that they haven't noticed a fall off with the latest Google changes. The key is to be consistent and keep at it, just like with blogging. Ad swapping is another free method. After you have a little bit of an email list, you can begin to grow it pretty rapidly through ad swaps, where you promote to someone's targeted offer in exchange for them promoting for you. The most effective way is to send them to a squeeze page so you can list build. So you want to send them to an offer page, and a squeeze page, for those that aren't aware, is basically a page that squeezes the information. It's just kind of a landing page that gives people one action to take, and those actions could be, basically, they're either going to put their name and email in, or they're going to leave that page. So make sure you only partner and do ad swaps with people that have a list in a niche similar to yours. So you don't want to send out an internet marketing offer, and then swap with somebody with a dog training list, because it's not going to end up good for either one of you. You do the strategy, you can do this in any market, but you need to do some effort looking at article directories, and you can go to article directories, look at anybody that's submitting an article in there that might be building a list, look at blogs in your niche to identify list owners that you can contact and propose an ad swap for. If you want to track your clicks when you're doing these ad swaps, you can use bit.ly or clickstrack.com to track your clicks. The free way of doing ad swaps, is to find the people to swap with manually. But there's also an easier way if you're in the internet marketing or home business niche that I'll just tell you about, and it's called safe-swaps.com. And it actually does a really good job of helping you, get out there in the forefront so you can do these ad swaps. And basically, it's really good because you're both building each other's list up. Yes, you do end up sharing some of the leads, but you're getting them into your funnel. You're still keeping the same people, and it's a great way that you can actually build up new people for free. And in the low cost methods, we'll talk about some paid strategies there. Look into sending out multiple times with people who have larger lists so you can swap with them and still match their clicks to you. This way you can generate even more clicks. Joint ventures, this is probably the single fastest way you can get traffic to your website so you can make sales. It's been my most effective traffic method for several years now. And a joint venture is when you get another marketer with an email list to promote for you. You give a commission for any traffic they send, that results in a sale. So it's a really positive relationship. And like I said, it really is the single fastest way to get traffic, because once you have them send out, they just boom, they send out the traffic for you. It can be frustrating when you're new though, because you don't know how to set up joint ventures with other people. So here's some surefire methods to get people to promote for you. And this one tip here resulted in a JV for me, that resulted in over 6 figures, and it's still growing. It's an extremely simple method, and it can go a long way for you, as I've done many JVs with my own customers this way, not in the 6-figure range, but I've actually promoted their products because of they basically took the same strategy, the same one I used with this other guy. And it's very simple, but it's something a lot of people don't do because they're either afraid to do it or they're not, they never thought of it. When you find a marketer that you want to get the attention of, the best thing you can do is purchase their product. And because then they're going to be you're going to be a customer. And so if they need customer support, they may either go to you or they might go to the customer support person, but there's a good chance they're going to see you in the order history. So make sure you buy their product first, and if it's a good product, promote it through any means possible. I've had people do that with my product, and I did this with this other guy, where basically I got on his radar by promoting because I wanted to get in with him and I wanted to do a joint venture. And instead of just being like everybody else and trying to email him, I thought I'm going to try to get his product and just promote and promote and promote till I make some sales for him. This, you could do article reviews of their product, a video walkthrough of their course. You could do social bookmarking, linking to your video walkthrough. You could do any other traffic methods that we'll talk about, even press releases, blogging, whatever it takes to talk about them, put it on your blog. Even send out an email to your list if you have it, to promote their products. You can get some sales. Then what you want to do is email the person you want to get the attention of and ask them to review what you've done to promote their product. Maybe let them know, hey, I'm so and so and I've sent you some sales. There's a good chance if you're making them any kind of sales, they're going to notice some of it and they're going to want to speak with you anyway. And it's just a super simple method to get their attention, and if you've made some sales, you may get a good JV partner for life, for the long term. So it's something that you can do, and it encourages you to actually make some sales as an affiliate too, so it's positive in that way. Here's some other methods I use to get JV partners to promote for me and my products. And like I said, joint ventures is a great way to get content, and some of these methods will work great if you're brand new. The only thing you need is a product to promote. Send out email blasts to your past customers or to your email list. Your customers and subscribers can end up being your best affiliates, and I know this from experience. Search article directories for people actively promoting in your niche. So look at article directories, not just to submit articles, because we talked about that's not as effective, but you can go out to ezinearticles.com, goarticles.com, search for people there that are posting articles and contact them. Look at their websites and their resource box and then reach out to them through their support desk or email and, talk about your JV possibility. You can use Google Blog Search at google.com/blog search to find bloggers in your niche as well. You can also browse blogcatalog.com to find more potential bloggers that can promote for you and that may also have an email following. And another really important method is to not underestimate the power of JVZoo or Warrior Plus as networks to tap into a large army of affiliates, especially if you're brand new. JVZoo is really good because it doesn't basically mean you have to be a guru to jump in there and be able to get a lot of traffic. You can be fresh in there, and there's so many affiliates there. If your product's converting well, you might end up getting a nice influx of customers. Another method that I use is to browse the ClickBank marketplace to find affiliates with products similar to mine and then follow up with them either by their affiliate contact email address, or I even just promote for them because I have a list already. And doing a product launch, you can really help build your list, just like many of these other methods I'm talking about, like the videos and blogging and all that. The whole point here is to help you build your list so you can leverage and do more joint ventures like this, which is free traffic. You do pay the commission, but it's free because you're not paying for it up front. Another great thing is attend live events whenever possible. If you see in your inbox there's a live event going on, if you happen to have somebody doing a local meetup in your area or a local event, it's a great way to meet affiliates and network with them. It's a good way to see the guru, so to speak, face to face, and it's a good opportunity there. Always deliver high value, and word's going to get around about the industry, about you and your courses and materials. And I know this from experience. When I started doing some webinar trainings, there happened to be a few different marketers on them that have become my best long-term friends and affiliates because they heard my training, and it really kind of helped put me on the map. So lots of good things there. Search for people promoting products similar to yours by going to Google and then look up that product name and review to find them. So if you find somebody that's a very popular product in your niche, that might be the most popular product on niche marketing or blogging, for example, then you would go out to Google and look up that product name, whoever the popular product is, and look for that with the word review to find people that are reviewing that particular product, and then you could contact them and say, hey, I have a product in a similar product, why don't you consider promoting it? And another thing, is contact your Facebook friends if, they're from your niche, and if they're people that are marketers, that market to you, you might be on their list. But also Facebook friends, you could reach out to them by the Facebook private message. You don't want to abuse that, but you definitely could do that. You could join Facebook groups as well, and look for people in there. Maybe the people that started those groups or people in those groups also would have email lists that you could join with. Online press releases, this is still one of my favorite methods for traffic generation, and when used correctly, it can build up a lot of buzz for your website. It gives you backlinks from authority websites, which are great for search engine rankings, and it enhances the credibility of your online business through increased positive exposure online. Plus, it drives targeted traffic, which results in fresh leads and sales for you. It generates traffic for years down the road with no additional investment required. So here's kind of proof. I have a press release submitted in 2004 that is still online and getting traffic for a past client of mine. And as you can see, 7 years later, and this is actually now 8 years later, this press release, this is my first client back in December 29, 2004. This website's still in existence. They still are getting a backlink to this website, and they're still, getting, this from it, and I charged them $9.97 for this service back in the day, and that was one of the first little offline gigs I did out of high school, and so it just shows you the power of it. Though here we are 8 years later, and it's still almost 8 years later. It's still an effective traffic method. This is one I did for my wife, who's an actress, and I put on created a little website for her, and she does just extra work and things like that, but we decided to create a website. 2,060 results in Google. In fact, I just checked recently, and it's up to over 3,000 results. And that's just by searching in quotes for that press release title. And you can see that some of these were from 2000. A lot of these were from around the same time, in 2011. But sometimes you can see quite a big difference. Like, for example, this press release for a pet website, which had 2,500 results in there. You'll notice in May 31, the ones down there, May 31, 2011, it was posted, and we actually submitted the press release in March of 2007. And you're going to see on this page there's actually Best Bizwear picked it up in 2011. July 24, 2011, dogcoolingvest.info picked it up. So another website. They may not be the best quality of websites, but the thing is, they are newsworthy. They're news type websites, and so Google likes those. And it's also what it's doing, as you can see, I submitted that back in 2007, and here we are 4 years later. As you can see by this proof shot here, it's still end up getting picked up. It's still getting backlinks going at 4 years later, and now we're on to 5 years later. But you can see that even though it was done once, it's still syndicated out there and still getting content. And then here's another recent example of a press release, 2,390 results. So it's pretty, safe to say if you can submit to a lot of press release sites, you can get quite a bit of traffic. And what's amazing is on all these websites here that show up at the first, I didn't submit to a single one of these particular websites. I submitted to a few press release websites, which then ended up syndicating it to all these, niche blogs and niche websites related to coffee and things like that for my client. So writing a press release, here's some examples. To write a press release, browse major press release sites like 1-888-pressrelease.com, 24-7 press release that I showed you, or prweb.com, one of the larger ones, and browse through their press releases to see examples of how it's written. Basically, the press release, it just needs an angle. This could be a new website that you launched, an article you just posted online. It could be to tell people about a product launch you have coming up, a new blog post you just did, and we'll talk about that later on here, a new video, a new hire you just did, a new design, something in your niche, a controversial viewpoint in your niche. If you have an opposing viewpoint, or maybe it relates to a current news event, that'd be a perfect time to do a press release and generate some buzz out there and get people interested, because that buzz could generate in social signals, mentions of your name out there. That's why press releases are effective, and it helps with search engine rankings. When you're doing your press release and writing it, keep in mind you want to write the who, what, when, where, and why. So who's the press release about? It's about your website, about you. What is it about? What about you that's so important? Is it a new website? What's your viewpoint? What's this? What's the blog post? When did this take place? When did it get posted? Where can they get access to it? So that'd be a link to your website or blog, or to your controversial viewpoint, whatever it is. And then quote or two from you about why you did that. That's probably the best example I could give you is who, what, when, where, and why. Journalism fits perfectly for press releases. And make sure you include the link to the website in the press release near the beginning and also at the end, because most of the time they'll let you have two links. And again, just like with YouTube, try to use the HTTP format for the link as well. Make sure your title of the press release also incorporates your main keywords if at all possible. Now here's for submitting your press release. To submit your press release online to press release sites for free, which there's a lot out there, the best way to do it and get the most updated list is to go to google.com and run these searches: submit press release free, submit press release online, submit press release, and those kind of keywords right there, submit press release free, submit press release online, and submit press release, are going to help return quite a few really good results for you. Tracking your press release results is another important part of your campaign. And again, the key with press release distribution online is to get as much exposure with it as possible, because the press release or news sites feed their information to other sites and blogs online, which can result in a lot of links and mentions for you. And that's a huge element of it, is to get the social mentions for Google. To track your results, just go to google.com and search for your press release title in quotes, just kind of like what I showed you in those screenshots. So email list is the other free traffic method that I'm going over here, and I'm going to cover some more SEO methods and some new strategies in just a little bit. But it's, again, an excellent source of traffic for any business out there. Is your list of subscribers that you already have or customers. Even Fortune 500 companies, the biggest companies out there, use their database all the time to promote and sell additional products and services to their customers. If you have an email list and aren't following up with it on a regular basis to send them to your own products, websites, or affiliate offers, you're missing out greatly in a lot of great opportunity there that you're missing out on. One of my clients, who actually has a set of retail stores online, just recently started having me do email blasts, and each blast can send around 1,000 new visitors to their website, which results in a massive sales for them. So that's a lot of influx of customers coming back to their site. It could just be a casual email about new products. It could be letting them know about a different product line or different department that they have. But things like that makes a massive impact. And I know in my business, follow-up email marketing is key and very important. If you do have an email list already and are afraid to send out to them, or aren't sure what to send them, then this can probably help you out. And the one little tip here that I'm about to share with you has been used with my personal coaching students with a 100% success rate. And I encourage them to pick out, so basically what I do is I encourage them to pick out a product to promote that they feel comfortable with, to promote to their list. and I come up with some kind of offer and tell them to push it 2 times in the same day, once in the morning and once at night. And basically what ends up happening here is you're going to reach people at different times to get the offer out there. So you won't get as many complaints as you may think you'll end up with. And what ends up happening, and it's happened 100% of the time, they write me back and say, wow, it actually doubled my sales or even tripled their sales that they were getting before by sending one email a day or sending one email a week, and they weren't being very consistent with their follow-up marketing, because you can send a lot of traffic with several email blasts. So like anything out there, being consistent is key with your list marketing as well. If you aren't sending even free training to them, you're losing touch with them and also not gaining their trust. So set up a promotional calendar so you know what you'll be pushing each day to your list. If you need help building your list, look at the other method mentioned prior to this, as they cover free methods that will work great to build your list. So a lot of the other traffic methods I talked about, plus the ones I'm about to discuss, are excellent methods for building up your email list. So this would include video marketing, new article marketing methods, blogging, joint ventures with your own products, and much, much more. It's a very effective way to go. So now we're going to talk about traffic methods that are losing their effectiveness, but we're going to talk about that in part 2 of this Free Traffic Heaven.